All right, welcome back to the Gambling Racket. We've got breaking news this morning from the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. They've early this morning, seemingly maybe trying to brush it under the rug, they dropped their statement that they've confirmed they've entered into a case resolution agreement in the case of Italian tennis player Jannik Sinner. They've agreed that he will be ineligible for anti-doping rule violation that led to him testing positive for cholesterol in March of 2024. So he'll be out for 3 months, only 3 months, which will not cause him to miss any slam events this year.
First
Uh,
event he's back for will be Rome. He will be back for the Rome Masters 1000, and then that leads right into the Roland Garros. So he's got one warm, not really a warm, I mean, it's a 1000. He's got a 1000, then he rolls right into the French Open.
it's Yeah, good point. So he'll even get a warm up. It smells fishy. There's a lot of reactions rolling in. They did not release the full results of their investigation. They did say, however, that they accept Sinner's explanation for the cause of the violation, uh, as it was outlined in their first decision. They don't think that he intended to cheat. They don't think his exposure to cholesterol provided any performing enhancing benefit and that took place without his knowledge as a result of negligence of members of his entourage. That's like direct quote there. So they also did not seek a disqualification of any results that he's accrued in the meantime or before the actual violation occurred either. So he doesn't have to forfeit any wins or anything like that, which is also a little fishy. Um,
It's the
uh,
shadiest thing they've done in a long time. And since they did the same thing for Iga, since Iga
yeah,
popped positive
exactly.
on a test, and then they said, "Oh, you're suspended," but during the off season. Except this is even worse because Iga's was, amount wise was much less, and the type of drug was not as bad, and the way it got in the system was way less sketchy. So
Yeah.
to me, like the fact that there's no investigation getting released, like you said, it got dropped at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Like the players are pissed. Stanimal, who I think, I hold in high regard his opinion. So read his statement, Ben, because I think that sums up what a lot of people are feeling right now.
Yeah, Stan had just a one line tweet. I don't believe in a clean sport anymore. Dot dot dot. That's it. So obviously, he thinks he doesn't have any faith in WADA. He thinks that he disagrees with the decision, obviously. But like, I don't believe in a clean sport anymore is a an interesting way to phrase it, and players are kind of mixed on his take as well in the replies to that tweet. But what do you think about what Stan said?
I get where he's coming from, and I think the big thing that is getting lost in the shuffle here is that like if there was any kind of transparency as to what went into the decision making process, there would not be this reaction, right? But they do
Yeah.
everything so cloak and dagger. They're not releasing any information. It's so people just assume the worst here. And WADA is a criminal organization populated by globalist scum who support Davos and the World Economic Forum. So they are probably doing some shady shit, you know? But to me, like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for Sinner here, which is a weird thing to say, I think, because, everyone's just assuming he's super fucking guilty because how shady they're being. Whereas, like, if they were more open about it and it's like, yeah, it really was an accident, it wouldn't look as bad for him. For him, like, I went into this thinking that, all right, accidents happen or whatever. But now the way it's all being handled and shit is it casts a whole, it casts a whole cloud over the whole thing, which already was not good. That's how
Right.
I.
You might disagree with this, but I am upset that they didn't release the results of the investigation. But I feel like what we would have seen if they did is that they didn't find anything new. They didn't uncover anything that the public doesn't already know about. They probably did interviews with all the members of his entourage, and they all fucking lied or whatever. Whatever they said is nothing news, no news to anyone else. So I don't. I just feel like there's not any information that's being kept from us.
It's like the
Like,
JFK files. Even if you don't have anything to hide, you should declassify that shit. Why the
yeah,
fuck is this report classified, right?
yeah.
What
Does
can't
WADA
I
think this is
know?
a threat to their security or something? It just,
It is a threat to WADA security because WADA is a criminal organization and what they're doing is fucking illegal. And that's why everyone's calling them out because they're scumbags. I mean, the players, I honestly, I feel bad for this again for a sinner. The fucking Players Association is trashing this whole thing, right? Like who like, theoretically represent him, but even they're like, man, this is two-tier justice. That's what it really is. It's
yeah. You want me
two-tier.
to read the statement real quick?
Yeah, yeah, you got it. Read
Yeah,
it.
it's a pretty brief one. So the Professional Tennis Players Association tweeted out their statement. No matter who you root for, several things are now clear. The system is not a system, it's a club. Supposed case-by-case discretion is, in fact, merely cover for tailored deals, unfair treatment, and inconsistent rulings. It's not just the different results for different players, it's the lack of transparency, the lack of process, the lack of consistency, the lack of credibility in the alphabet soup of agencies charged with regulating our sports and athletes, the lack of commitment from the ATP, WTA, Grand Slams, ITIA, and WADA to reform and create a fair and transparent system going forward. This bias is unacceptable for all athletes and shows a deep disrespect for every sport and its fans. It's time for change, and we will change it. Wow. Okay, strong statement. They did not mince words here. They called out every organization to do better. I see you have a reply to here to this tweet. I'm gonna uh,
Oh,
retweet
did
you
I?
there.
What
Boost.
did
I'll
I
boost
say?
you. It's a John Stamos gift that says "Preach, brother, preach."
Oh, there you
Very,
go.
very
That's how I
appropriate.
feel. Yeah. Honestly,
Um,
that sums up my opinions in a much more, polite manner. Like,
they're getting
yeah,
paid
it's
to do
just
this. Yeah, don't
bullshit.
worry.
It's
It
bullshit.
definitely is. On the more flippant side of the reactions, obviously, we're gonna be looking at Nick Kyrgios. He tweeted out about 8 hours ago from the time of recording that so WADA come out and say it would be a 1 to 2 year ban. Obviously, Sinner's team have done everything in their power to just go ahead and take a 3 month ban. No titles lost, no prize money lost, guilty or not? Question mark. Sad day for tennis. Fairness in tennis does not exist. I know a lot of players that are feeling the same way at the moment, so looking to hold live spaces next week so we can talk about it. Stay tuned for exact timing. And since then, he's just been retweeting other personalities in the sport. He retweeted Liam Brody, Joel Montero, a couple other just random tennis guys on Twitter that agree with
Kyrgios
his
is a
point.
fucking troll.
Yeah,
Kyrgios has
just
turned into a
retweeting people.
troll at this point. And bro, like I get, I don't know. To me, it's more noteworthy when someone like Stan says something than someone like Kyrgios. Kyrgios just runs his mouth, you know. Bro, he's in it for the engagement now. He's like us. He's our competition. We're content creators now. We're all
Yeah.
the same. Us and Nick Kyrgios. No, I'm just kidding.
We are equals now. One person he did retweet was Pavi G, who I thought had an interesting point and was on my mind early on after hearing the news this morning as well. But I'd actually be much more interested in seeing this investigation result. But Pavi's tweet was, "For those who say Sinner is innocent, can you answer these? Why wasn't he transparent at the time he failed the tests, like Max Purcell was? Why didn't he sack/suspend his team immediately after he knew they'd been negligent? Why didn't he fight for his innocence at the CAS?" Yeah, I think those are great points. Sinner seemed
100%.
he acted like, in my opinion, he acted like he knew he was going to be able to get away with this with just a slap on the wrist the entire time. He kind of was a little complacent, and he's going to catch some heat for that. I think deservedly so. What I'd like to see what the fuck Max Purcell was doing. I know what the story is. I do appreciate that he came clean like
It was the
immediately.
IV, right? He got too much IV.
Yeah, like a vitamin. Well, he said it was like a vitamin IV in Vietnam or some shit, right after a hard night of partying.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I want to
believe
know
that.
what's in there. I want to know what's in those vitamin bags that they're sticking in your veins.
You haven't seen this, bro? They fucking have it's like a hangover cure
No,
thing.
I've seen those. Yeah.
It's a fancy hangover cure thing.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, I
becoming
don't know
more
what
and more
they're like in
popular.
Vietnam.
Yeah,
I can
that's what I'm
only
saying. Like, what's going on? Is this like, hey, hit a little hair of the dog in your IV bag? Who knows?
yeah, who knows?
But I think that's
I
a,
want to try it out now. I'm kind of intrigued.
yeah,
So
for sure. It seemed to work for Max Purcell. It did definitely missed him at the Australian Open. That definitely sucked.
yeah,
Um,
he got
yeah,
fucked. He got fucked.
agree. This is a
Elias
bad.
Steamer got fucked. He like missed test and he got fucked over.
Yeah,
Brooksby got fucked because he like what he had like ADHD medicine or some shit like that. Like
right.
Simone Halep got fucked. Like it's not fair. It's just not the way they treat the different people is just so fucking crazy different.
Yep, absolutely. Um, as you can expect, the Jannik Sinner fanboys, I'm sure the Kuroda boys are on Twitter somewhere. I don't follow them though, but they are out in force defending their boy. Anyone with a slightly Italian name or Twitter handle is defending him.
Not
It's
me.
not a good look. It's not a good look for the Sinner crowd. Specifically, here's Massimo on Twitter. That's his, not his actual handle, just his like title name. It's unfair that the world's best tennis player, Jannik Sinner, has been suspended by WADA for 3 months when it wasn't his fault. It's fair to say tennis is officially dead until Jannik comes back. We're waiting for you, champion. Italian flag emoji, heart emoji, and a picture of Jannik looking stoic or something. I don't know. It's gross. I don't think Yannick is seeing that and being inspired by his fans by any means. Just hey, can we all get on the same page that this is bad for the sport in general, regardless of who you support? Um, yeah, it's I'm
It's
blocking the
fucked.
Italian. I'm blocking the Italians. I'm done with them. Okay. Well, that's our reaction. Anything else you want to throw in here, Vic? Anything you want to see or anything you're looking forward to in the immediate future regarding this news? That's going to affect how we look at Yannick's comeback in May.
No, no. I think we'll probably have more news and stuff trickle out over the next 24 hours. It seems like Matthew Fairbarn at The Athletic, that rag. He's got a lot of sources amongst those globalist pigs. So I'm sure we'll see get something to come out in the next 24 hours. I mean, he wrote that hit piece about Reba Kina's coach. We'll talk about it in the regular episode. We don't need to dive into that right now.
Yeah, please. Uh, that's a whole nother mess. Okay, yeah, same. I'm going to be digging into players that might be making or looking to make some moves in these next 3 months that at tournaments maybe Sinner was planning on participating in that he'll no longer be at. Maybe changing up some odds here. So let's be on the lookout for that for sure.
Sunshine double. Indian
Yeah,
Wells and Miami is
and Miami.
they're gonna miss him. So yeah. The field is open. The field is open.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. All right. This has been Ben and Vic for the Gambling Racket reaction to the Sinner news. Let us know what you think down in the comments below because, yeah, there's a lot of opinions out there. But we'll catch you next time. We're recording the full episode for some pretty exciting events coming up. So make sure you got the notification bell dinged. And for the Gambling Racket, best of luck on these 250 events that we're wrapping up here tomorrow.
Oh, we'll be selling next episode. Tune in to learn more about timeshare opportunities in Gaza. Thank you. This has been the Gambling Racket.
All right, signing off with that.